Now we'll look in more detail at the document processing pipeline, starting with the very first phase of ingesting documents into an indexing system. So what we're doing is starting off right up here, that we've got some documents on our hard disk or on web pages, and we want to start processing them to put them into our later tokenizer and linguistic modules. So the very first kind of questions that we need to work out is, what format is the document in? Is it a PDF document or a Microsoft Office document or an HTML web page? What language is it in? French, Chinese, Swahili? What character set is in use, which might be a character set like a Unicode encoding like UTF-8, which can be used for many different languages, or it might be a language-specific character set or a proprietary character set like Windows Code Page 1252. Each of these is a classification problem, trying to assign an input to one of a number of classes, and we'll study classification problems in general later on, but in practice, a lot of these tasks are done heuristically. Let's just look a little at the complications that come up. So documents being indexed can often involve documents from various different languages, and so our index may often contain terms from many languages. But it's not just as simple as having multiple languages and different documents. Sometimes a single document can have multiple languages inside it. So we might have a French email with a German PDF attachment, or a French email discussing clauses from an English language contract. Now, for a lot of these issues, such as decoding PDFs, or detecting the language of a document, or detecting its character set in coding, there are various open source and commercial libraries available that can handle a lot of this stuff, and commonly the solution is to get a hold of someone else's library. But let me just focus in on one other issue, and that's the question of what is a document. The question here is one of grain size as to what we're going to take as a unit document. That is, when we have a search system, what we return as the answers are documents. But how big a thing do we treat as a document? The naive answer to that is to say that a file on the computer or on the web server is a document. But it's often not actually quite as simple as that. So for example, if you're indexing email, well, commonly a whole bunch of emails might be stored together in one file on disk, like in a classic Unix mbox file. But it seems like the natural unit of indexing is the size of an email. But what if it's an email with 5 attachments, which might themselves be Word documents or PDFs? Should we be treating those as separate documents or as part of this one email? In the opposite direction, there are various bits of software that people sometimes use, such as software for putting things like PowerPoint or LaTeX files up on the web, which will take what was conceptually one document and split it over a whole bunch of different HTML files. So it's not always a trivial issue to decide what we're treating as our unit document for indexing. Okay, I just wanted to give you a flavor of some of those issues. From now on in the course, we're just going to assume that all that messy stuff is solved, and we're at least going to be starting off with our documents just being a sequence of words and other symbols, and we'll be working that we understand, and we'll be working from there to index them.